Everything you think you know about dinosaurs is based on less than 1% of what actually existed. The biggest, deadliest, strangest dinosaurs you can name were probably not even close to the true extremes. Your favorite dinosaur. It's not nearly as cool as the coolest one that ever lived, because there were far more dinosaurs than you could possibly imagine. Dinosaurs ruled Earth for over 160 million years. We've only identified around 1,400 species. So how many are we missing? Whatever number you're thinking, go way higher. Becoming a fossil isn't normal. It's like winning the lottery over and over again, while dodging every disaster the planet can throw at you. The second a dinosaur dies, the clock starts ticking against it. Scavengers show up almost immediately. Meat gets devoured in days or weeks. Even the bones don't last long in the open. Picture a massive predator like Tyrannosaurus Rex. Its skull was 5 feet long and over 4 feet wide. A bite force like that doesn't leave much behind. It gets even worse for the smaller dinosaurs, especially the babies and juveniles. If a big predator swallows you whole, you're digested long before any part of you has a chance to fossilize. That means the fossil record is heavily biased toward the largest, fully grown adults. But even if nothing eats you, the planet still destroys you. Leave bones exposed to sun, wind, rain, and microbes, and within just a few years they crumble into dust. So the only real chance a dinosaur has at becoming a fossil is rapid burial. And that only happens in very specific places, along flooded rivers, beneath collapsing sand dunes, or right next to active volcanoes. For every dinosaur that lived in all the other environments, which was most of them, we basically have no idea what they looked like. Take jungles and rainforests. Today they're the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet, packed with thousands of species in a single area, yet they produce almost no fossils. And it gets even crazier. Right now, there are animals alive that exist only in one tiny patch of forest, or a single body of water. If they disappeared without us ever seeing them, we'd have zero evidence. The same thing was almost certainly true in the Mesozoic. Entire, weird lineages of dinosaurs could have thrived for millions of years in hidden corners of the world and left behind absolutely nothing. Mountains grind bones into powder. Deserts can preserve fossils for a while, only for them to crack apart and blow away before anyone finds them. So the true diversity of dinosaurs will probably always stay mostly hidden from us. But suppose a dinosaur somehow beats all those odds and gets buried perfectly. Now, it has to stay buried for tens or hundreds of millions of years. For late Cretaceous animals, that's at least 66 million years. For the earliest Triassic dinosaurs, it's over 230 million. During that insane stretch of time, the Earth refuses to sit still. Continents drift and smash into each other, completely rearranging the planet. Mountain ranges rise and erode away. That's how dinosaur footprints end up halfway up a modern mountain. Oceans shift too. That's why we find mosasaur fossils in the middle of the United States, hundreds of miles from any current sea. Entire rock layers full of fossils get dragged into the mantle and melted. One earthquake can shatter a perfectly preserved skeleton into pieces. And after all that, there's still one final hurdle. We have to actually find it. Most of the planet's surface isn't exposed rock. It's covered in soil, forests, cities, or water. Places where fossils could be sitting right now, but we'll never reach them. Look at Doggerland, the prehistoric land, bridge now completely underwater in the North Sea. We only know it existed because fishermen occasionally pull up mammoth bones and ancient tools from the sea floor. Now, imagine all the dinosaur fossils that survived but ended up at the bottom of oceans around the world. Even fossils buried just a few inches underground are invisible to us. Who knows how many more are sitting miles deep? And if an exposed fossil sits too long before someone spots it, nature starts erasing it all over again. The fact that we have found around 400 km. Now here's the part that still blows my mind. We've been seriously hunting for dinosaurs for almost 200 years. You'd think new discoveries would be slowing down by now. But the opposite is true. We're finding brand new species faster than ever. That tells us we're nowhere close to being done. Since we can't count every dinosaur species directly from fossils, we need a smarter way to estimate. It comes down to two things: how many species existed at any one moment, and how often those communities were completely replaced. The 160 million years of non-avian dinosaurs wasn't one long, continuous era. It was hundreds of completely different worlds, each packed with animals that only stuck around for a short time, before vanishing forever. This constant replacement is called species turnover, and it's the key to figuring out the real number. Sometimes turnover happened slowly. Other times it was a total reset. At the end of the Triassic, massive volcanic eruptions wiped out up to 80% of all species on Earth, clearing the stage for dinosaurs to become the dominant land animals in the Jurassic. But it didn't stop there. Whole groups like stegosaurs and countless sauropod lineages disappeared later on, replaced by new players. By the late Cretaceous, dinosaur diversity was probably at its absolute peak. Even Tyrannosaurus rex was a late bloomer. It only showed up about 68 million years ago, and lasted roughly 2 million years out of the entire 160 million. We can actually watch turnover in the rocks. There's a formation in Alberta that gives us a clear window into just over 2 million years. In that short slice of time, the entire lineup of big dinosaurs got swapped out 3 times. That's a major turnover, roughly every 700,000 years. It lines up closely with modern mammals, where the average species lasts only about 1 million years. So, if dinosaurs followed a similar pattern across 160 million years, we're looking at least 160 separate turnover events. That gives us one half of the equation. Now, we need the second half. How many species were living in each of those snapshots? The fossil record can't tell us, but modern mammals can be our best stand-in. Mammals today fill the same ecological roles dinosaurs once did: big herbivores, apex predators, everything in between. There are about 6,000 mammal species alive right now, but most are tiny. When we filter to mammals over about 5-pound sizes, more like dinosaurs, we get roughly 1,500 species. Iphaeash Mesozoic lineup had around that many dinosaur species, and those lineups turned over 160 times. you're already looking at about 240,000 species. But the Mesozoic world was significantly warmer than today, and tropical ecosystems support several times more diversity. If dinosaur diversity at any given time was just double what we see in large mammals today, the number jumps north of 450,000. And that's before we even factor in birds living dinosaurs that number over 10,000 species right now. If non-avian dinosaurs were anywhere near as diverse as their avian cousins, a total of 1 million dinosaur species doesn't sound crazy at all. In the end, those 1,400 species we've found represent less than 1% of what was really out there. We'll probably never know the exact number, but one thing is certain: there were far more dinosaurs than you think. Before we finish the math, I want to show you something special. I teamed up with Ether Cards to create these limited edition field report collectibles. Each one brings an incredible dinosaur or prehistoric seen to life with detailed info on the back. It's the closest thing you'll ever get to holding a piece of the Mesozoic in your hands, maybe even a little too close. I'm personally signing every single one by hand, so they're truly unique. Pre-orders are only open for a short 30 days, so if you want one, click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Thank you so much for your support. It really helps keep videos like this going. If you love these deep dives, consider joining the channel membership for early access, dark mode versions, and extra behind-the-scenes stuff. As always, thanks for watching. Stay curious about the ancient world, and I'll see you in the next one.